Hey, it's Richie from Rocketar. Hey, well, this lesson is going to cover part 3 of Smoke on the Water on the lower strings right here. Basically, you get those lower tones. The last 2 lessons, we went over part 1 and part 2, and we'll go ahead and review that real quick for you. We started out with part 1 with our first finger, or excuse me, our third finger on the 3rd fret of this top string. Okay, remember we're just plucking with our index finger. Okay, very nice. Then we went to our first finger on the 1st fret of the next string down, that is the A string. Okay, so everybody hold that down. Very nice. Okay, now go to your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of that A string. Okay, very nice. Now we're going to stick with that finger. We're going to go back to the top string on the 3rd fret, and we're going to give that one a pluck. Okay, then we went to our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the A string again. Okay, and then remember in part 2 we went over the shift. We're going to shift our hand just a little bit, just about 1 fret over. So right about in between the 3rd and 4th fret, maybe even a little bit more towards the 4th fret where our thumb is on the back of the neck. Okay, and we're going to take our 3rd finger and place that on the 4th fret of the A string. Okay, everybody there? All right, give that a pluck. Then we took our 2nd finger and we put that on the 3rd fret of the A string. And we went ahead and gave that a pluck. Okay, so that is part 1 and part 2. A little quick review for you. Now for part 3, I'll go ahead and play it for you, and then go ahead and learn it note by note like we did. So here it is. That's it right there. Just 5 notes, just like the part 3 we learned on the single G string right here. Just 5 notes. And yes, it does repeat part 1 over again. That's how it starts out. So we're going to go ahead and start it out with our 3rd finger on that 3rd fret of the top string of the E string. Okay. There, and go ahead and give that a pluck. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put our 1st finger on the next string down, that's the A string, and put that on the 1st fret. Okay, go ahead and give that a pluck. All right, good job. Now we're going to take our 3rd finger, put that on the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, hold that down and give that a pluck. Nice. Okay, and take your 1st finger, and we're going to go back to that 1st fret on that A string. So we're kind of going in reverse here. So go ahead and give that a pluck. All right. Now for the last note of this sequence, or this part right here, just going to put our 3rd finger back on the 3rd fret, and we're just going to go ahead and end right where we started, right here on this top string, 3rd fret, and give that a pluck. Very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and review that. This is part 3. So we started out right where we ended. We had our 3rd fret on the 3rd fret with our 3rd finger holding that down with our left hand. Okay, very good. Then take your 1st finger, put that on the 1st fret of the next string down on the A string. Then we had our 3rd finger holding down the 3rd fret on the A string and giving that a pluck. Then our 1st finger on the 1st fret. Okay, and then back to our top string with our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead and do part 3 slow. So I'll give you a count to 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Do it in slow motion again. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, great. So that's part 3. So here's what we're going to do now. we're going to put parts 1, 2, and 3 together, and we're going to play this bass line, Smoke on the Water, just the way it was done on the recording in these nice low frequencies. Okay? So here we go. We're going to start with part 1. Of course, we start with our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. All right, you ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, we'll do it one more time. You ready? 1, 2, ready, go. All right, great. Excellent job. Y'all are doing great. Now you know Smoke on the Water on 1 string, you have the high G string, and you also know it in the low frequency, so you can really get low and rock out. All right, way to go. That's really awesome. You know one of the greatest bass lines in the history of rock and roll and how to play in 2 different places. So very, very cool. Well, stick around because in the next lesson, I'm going to show you one of the greatest bass lines the world has ever known in any type of music. And that is, of course, the Peter Gunn theme from Henry Mancini. Yes, it's a classic. You are absolutely going to love it. And we're going to be able to do some alternate picking, too, with our index and middle finger with our right hand. So, my name is Richie from Rock Guitar, and I will see you in the next lesson.